Hey guys, and welcome to Car Guy 1999 Reviews. Today, I bring you the 2018 Mercedes. Alright. Well then. Alright, so that's a good start to this. So, the 2018 Mercedes CLA250. This car is provided via Werner Mazda in Manchester, New Hampshire. I'll include a link to their website down in the description box below. That was funny. Still can't believe that happened. So this is the 4MATIC version. Now, if you are a long-time subscriber to the channel, you might know that I've already filmed a video on this. However, I didn't really get to experience the car. It was just kind of awkward. So I wanted to go ahead and film this one now that it has some more miles on it and see how it held up. Alright, so once you're inside, it's actually a pretty nice place to be, seeing how this is Mercedes' entry-level car. But everything that you touch is all very nice material. It's not really hard plastic. It does have some little give. Okay, maybe this might be a little hard plastic. But other than that, it's still a nice car. These seats, the headrest is fixed into the seat, but that's not a problem at all. You got your sunroof, back seats there. So yeah, all your seat controls are up here. Alright. So then you have different driving modes. Comes up in the middle display. You have individual, where you can go through and adjust everything in the car. You can, set the climate control to what you want it to be, the auto start stop function, the steering, and all that fun stuff. You have eco mode, which essentially just makes everything as eco-friendly as possible. So the engine, the steering is actually still in comfort, but it's nice and light. You go up to comfort. That's basically your daily driving mode. Steering has a little bit, actually no, it's the same as eco, because eco puts it in comfort mode. Where I'm going to keep it is sport mode. So what you do is it turns on that, so you can just shut the auto start stop off. Steering gets a little bit heavier, and then you're in sport mode. The throttle response is a little different, just for sport driving. Alright, so in order to put it into gear, you have this stock here that's basically generic to almost every single Mercedes. It's actually Tesla products too have it the same way. Put it down like that, and we'll go for a drive. Now, if you step into this car and you've never driven a dual clutch transmission before, it's gonna be a little weird. It does take a little bit getting used to when you first step into the car, but other than that, it's very intuitive. There's some decent power in here, especially for a little 4-cylinder. It does have a very throaty sound. That's one thing I've started to figure out. It's a very, very throaty sound. It almost reminds me of the Focus ST, just how deep and throaty that sound is. Then you can go ahead, you can use the paddles mounted behind the wheel. You just tap them to put it into manual mode. After a while, if you don't use the paddles, it starts to give you notifications saying, oh, change gear now. And then if you still don't listen, eventually it puts it into automatic mode if you don't touch the paddles. But they're very responsive. does exactly what you want it to do. When I first drove the CLA, I really did not like it. It just felt really, really cheap to me. I didn't like the transmission. But now this one, now that I drive it again, it's actually pretty darn good for the price point. I mean, you're getting into a Mercedes, after all, for the price of around $40,000. Is a 7-speed. Put it back into automatic mode. And we'll just see what it's like out on the highway. Transmission's quick to respond. Visibility out of the car is perfect. I've not encountered a big blind spot. Sitting here doing 74, just about a little over 2,000 RPM. This car has almost 12,000 miles on it. It's held up awesome. It still drives like a brand new one. Matter of fact, it actually drives a little bit better than a new one, because the new one just felt cheap and it just was weird. I don't know what the difference is between these two cars, because they were both 2018s. So I don't know if as it's worn down, the suspension's gotten a little more forgiving. It's just, I don't know. It's definitely different than the new one. And then if you get this car that's at Werner right now, it does come with all-weather floor mats from Mercedes. Now if you're in sport mode here, it's going to go ahead as you brake. It's going to start giving you those downshifts as you push more and more and more for sport type driving. Now I guess I can go ahead and explain the dual clutch transmission. So essentially what a dual clutch is it's almost like a manual. Well, it pretty much is a manual with an extra clutch. So there's a clutch that controls all the odd number gears, and there's a second clutch that controls the gears that are even. So second, third, or second, fourth, sixth. When you're in first gear, that clutch that controls the odd number gears is engaged in there. However, that second clutch is getting ready to switch over and it's already engaged second gear. So when you pull the paddle or it shifts, it just realigns the clutches and it just provides such a quick shifting. Just provides nice, quick, crisp shifts, and it's exactly what. That's why manufacturers are using these, because you know, the ZF 8-speed, for example. That can provide really quick shifts, but it's not quick enough to have the second gear already selected, and the second you pull that paddle, they just switch. That's why dual clutches are just so much faster. The only downside to dual clutches, this car is not bad at all, but some dual clutches, especially early ones, when you're in town and stuff like that, they can be a little jerky, you know, because it's basically an automated manual, so it doesn't want to burn up the clutch, so then it's gonna engage it as soon as it can. Whereas a torque converter automatic, it will just smoothly let you into that gear. So that's why some people find a dual clutch is just a little rougher, a little more jerky than a torque converter automatic. We'll go ahead and we'll put the foot down and see what this thing does from a dig. Not bad at all. I really don't have any complaints about it. So go ahead, we'll put it into eco mode and see what that does. So instantly, the throttle pedal does a lot less. And if you're off the gas, it disengages the transmission, so you're coasting. That's pretty ingenious. I don't think I've seen that before. The second I let off, it disengages the clutch. It's still, I mean, steering's still pretty good. Suspension's a little different, a little more wishy-washy. So we'll go ahead and put it into comfort mode. Comfort mode still gives you that power. Transmission's a little bit smoother. Shifting's going to be a little bit slower. Slap it back down into sport. And I'll show you what I mean by the braking. So I'm going to get into the brakes pretty good. You can see the transmission's downshifting. Roll onto power. Now that I drive it more, it almost sounds like the new WRX. I don't know if I'm just losing it, but that's the kind of sound I'm getting. Now I know it's piped in and it's actually pretty quiet, but that's the sound I'm getting. Alright, so thank you guys so much for watching this video. Please like, share, subscribe. I'll include a link to Werner Mazda's website in the description box below. And you can go ahead and check out this car. It is currently for sale if you guys want to buy it. It's in great shape for a used car. And it's a 2018, so you're getting essentially a brand new car just with a couple miles on it. Can't really go wrong, especially with Mercedes because they depreciate so bad. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching. Like, share, subscribe. Have a great day.